Okay, people, this is the best we're gonna get. Hello, YouTube. Here we go again. This is Tammy Pie, and I'm back with a holiday tag. This is the hashtag St. Patty's Tarot, and it's been. They actually had a live stream this morning. It was great. Cosmic Lunar Soul and a Life Full of Simplicity. So it's holiday based. We love holidays, right? And I am. I have a Irish. My father was Irish, or at least so he said. He was a little full of malarkey. He used to tell a story about being the 10th child born on a ship, or maybe someone told the story about him and he just kind of let it go. But he wasn't. He was child number 4. I have his adoption papers. But he was born John Smythe in California, not on a ship. Okay, so St. Patty's Day Tarot. It's the green and the gold. Very nice, interesting tag. I got my green crystals on here and my gold crystals, but you can't see them. Pyrite, emerald, and green fluorite. And let's get into it. So the prompts are: number 1, End of the Rainbow. What deck did you have a hard time finding or tracking down? So when I was figuring out how to do this, when I was watching other people's, there was just one deck. But this morning in the live, the ladies had several decks, so I kept adding. So I'm sorry if this is going to be a little long, but it might be a little long. But you'll see some juicy decks. So my first thought was the Tarot Masonique. But if you see the Waves of Your Soul response to this, she had a couple of Jean Bouchard decks, so I wanted to show different ones. And this is the Egipticos Kier tarot, and I just really like the cardstock and the way they did the gold in this era of U.S. Games. Stuart Kaplan. Here's the book. The booklet is really important. I would suggest, if you come across this deck and it has no booklet, don't get it. So this has 78 cards, and it kind of follows tarot. The Lovers. Number 5 is the High Priest. Emperor. Empress. The Priestess. Magician. The Fool is number 22. But then it just keeps going. It gives you just numbered cards, okay? So we're not going to have wands and cups and pentacles and swords or whatever variation of those. So that's 15, the Passion. Interesting, yeah? Temperance. Instead, we're going to have 78 numbered cards, some of which kind of go along with some of those meanings. There are all kinds of cool symbols. There's Kabbalistic alphabet. There's what do they call that? The ancient biblical text or something. You have astrological, and I forget what these go to, but a bunch of cool little extras that you get in this deck. And it's that, here are the backs. It's that great US Games Stuart Kaplan kind of if you have decks from this era, you know what I mean. Just really cool gold on it. It just, for some reason, the print is excellent on that. So this was really hard to track down, and it is sometimes expensive. Every once in a while, though, you'll come across it, and it's worth a second look. So the other one that I had to track down, End of the Rainbow, is this Greenie. And in part, those are the backs with no borders. Yes. In part, it was because I didn't want to pay big money for it. I have gone through a lot of changes in the last year or two, which have made a dent in my usable income, my entertainment money, as it were. So this one was up on eBay, and Honey Lou told me about it, and I went and looked at it. It didn't have a box or a book or anything, and I waited too long, and it looked like it had sold, but then it went back up. Like whoever it was that bought it probably didn't pay or whatever. I don't know, but I really, really wanted a Greenie because I started with Thoth, and it was hard to find one that was inexpensive enough. And this one, I guess because it didn't have a box. I mean, I don't care. I'm just using the cards anyway. So, the second question prompt is Pot of Gold. When you found that deck, was it worth the quest? I didn't pay a lot for either one of these, and I really, really love them. This kind of weird system of tarot I adore. I like when tarot makes you think and takes a twist on things and adds a few layers of stories or interesting symbology or just different stuff with the skeleton of tarot. I just think this is so cool. And of course I don't use it enough, because do we use any of our decks enough once we have a bunch? But every time I use it, I just find that it's more and more interesting. I wish I had the actual book. There's a book that goes to it, but I think it's in like Portuguese or something, because it's a deck that was done in Brazil or Argentina, somewhere like that. Okay, so yes, totally worth it. The Greenie, 1000% worth it. So happy that I kept trying and that I found one that wasn't super expensive, so that I can throw it around, so I can beat it up, so I can enjoy using my Greenie and not try and be all precious with it because I paid $200 for it or whatever. Okay. Shamrock Shake, what is your favorite snack when doing reading? Okay, here we go. This is it. I said this morning coffee, because a lot of times I'm doing tarot in the morning. Now, I don't put it on my table, and if I don't have it in the, I mean, I drink coffee in a regular cup. I have a cup that I use every day. But like if I was going somewhere, I have this handy dandy Newt's coffee mug that she gave away at that last one at the Monarch, and these are great. It's not a super fancy one. It doesn't keep it hot super long, but it keeps you from spilling it, and that's all I need. But I will a lot of times be drinking these Premier Proteins because I'm addicted to them, and it's like a cup of coffee. Also, I can put, and I discussed this in the live stream this morning, I can put my marijuana tincture in this, and it makes it palatable because it tastes terrible. So I'm a chronic pain person, so I need pain relief all the time. And I can't take opiates anymore because I was personally in that opiate crisis. All right, so next prompt. Leprechaun. Do you own rare out-of-print decks? If not, which one would you get if you could? Okay, so yes, I do. Obviously, I do. I'm one of those people. And a lot of my rare or out-of-print decks were just a matter of being in the right place at the right time, of having a certain kind of taste, of being there at the button when it happened, knowing kind of what is not going to last. I have a ton, but this is a really cool one, and I don't show it a huge amount because I don't know if she does tarot anymore. She does this is Aubrey Siebe, and this is the Witchbone Tarot. I have it edged. Six of Swords, the Hierophant, Magician, the Sun, Two of Cups. I'm trying to get to the horse cards. I love the horse cards. Knight of Cups. I like these cardinal cards too, because I'm a birdie person. Oh, and she's a wolf. Some of them are very hippish. Nine of Wands. Yummy. Where's the horses? Oh, here's a nice crow. Oh, I love this one. Right? So good. This one's good too. Blood Moon. Where's the horses? Aubrey is, she has horses. So the horses in this deck, the photography, I believe, is hers. Oh, I love the Six of Cups. And this was a very intuitive deck. Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, Death. Very simple. Okay, here we go. So these horses that she took pictures of in here are her horses, which I always thought was so cool. I love that. I love when there is a creator who dares to put a really personal touch. I'm just going to make a mess. And I also have the Astrology Oracle that she did. Should we show the cards? Yeah, why not? So these, hard to find. I have little cheater cards. Love a cheater card. Love them. I don't think I've ever seen anyone trade or sell this deck. You just... Those are all the moon cards. Lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Oh, this one's so pretty. Jupiter. And then she goes into the house cards, which I appreciate. I have another oracle that's similar to this, but not the same. 11, 12, and then we have the sign cards: Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Okay, so Aubrey actually, when she was doing these decks, did a series of 3 of them, and the other ones are, I believe, the Decans, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're like animal Decans. I didn't get it because I had run out of money, and I had been, you know, buying tarot decks like a mad woman. And if I could find that, I would have that one too. I'll never get rid of these decks. I love these decks so much. And so if I didn't have it though, I'd be looking for it, right? I think that's the question. All right, and this is another one. Right place, right time. When I first got Prismavisions, I didn't get it. I got it because I thought it looked like Impressionist art, and I thought it was kind of cool that they could line up the cards to make a big picture. This is the Tarot of the Sephiroth, and I was on Eclectic Tarot back in the day. If you know, you know. And I was like looking to trade. This was one of my first earliest trades. And Tarot of the Sephiroth by Josephine Maury and Jill Stockwell and Dan Staroff. Yeah. Oh my God. I love this deck so much. He wanted to trade. He traded me the book and the deck, which now, if you're looking for the book, you got to pay stupid money for it. And it's a little tiny book. I'll never understand how people get away with this. But you don't need the book, but it's good to have the book for this. I love the pips in this deck. I think they are so, it's such active art. I adore these court cards. They are so cool. And once again, this is one of those decks that has successfully layered in some really cool stuff. Right? These Sephiroths, the colors of the Sephiroth. And the way you can kind of put the court cards together, all four of them, to make a big Sephiroth. This is what taught me that the hangman was water, right? Just really cool deck. So if I didn't have this one, I'd be looking for this, because I just think it's such an interesting concept. See these little kings, all four of them go together and they make the Sephiroth where they belong. This is where the kings belong. And then this is one at the top, Binah, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm a bad Kabbalah student. Okay, where are we at? We have lost everything. Okay, here we go. Leprechaun. Also, if I could, I would have all the Mysteries of Mary decks. I also love, what's the other out of print one that I love? Anyway, yeah. 4-Leaf Clover, a deck you thought would be just another deck, but it turned out to be something great. Okay, so I just showed this. This was one that Nancy of Star and Flurry Tarot gave me while I was at Newt's. She came and she was like, I have an extra one of these. I'm an idiot. Do you want this? Yes, please. Or maybe it was that she loved this deck so much and she knew I'd like it. But she really super generously just gave it to me. So there I am at Newt's, and I have my 3 decks that I was going to work with. And one of the decks was This Might Hurt, which I was wanting to work with more. It's RWS, it's easy reading. And no one was asking for it. When Nancy gave me this deck, I opened it right up, started shuffling, and just said, I'm going to put this on my table and see if anybody wants to give it a try. You know, I swear 2/3 of the people chose this deck. It, for some reason, just made people go for it. And it gives very interesting readings. There is a little bit of extra personal kind of layer there. But it really is RWS. It's read right out of the box. So that is the Tiny Sparrow Tarot by Neysa Paz. Cool name. Okay. And I believe it's like an Etsy deck or a make playing cards deck. So this was the first one I actually thought of. When I got I Am the Artist. Oh, my daughter wants to talk to me. When I got I Am the Artist, I was getting it because I had wanted the Sakki-Sakki tarot for so long. I thought that headless people was an interesting thing. What I was not prepared for was, as I got closer and closer to this deck, as I got more and more used to this kind of strange artwork, this deck is really very interesting. I've heard people say that they don't like this as much as the other one. The cards aren't as small. Nope, not going to do it. They missed the headless features, but since I didn't have the headless one, that's not a problem for me. I love the backs. And yeah, surprisingly beautiful, deep reading with this. But it does take a little bit to get used to this kind of odd, busy style. But once you do, you start to see stuff. I like these black and white bits that are in the back. And I really enjoy the different characters that she gave us. You know, just a little different, a little strange, a little odd. And it can be a lot, but boy, it's really worth it. It's very worth getting to know. And I was surprised. I was surprised how much I love it. And this was another one. This was one that it came in a group from a trade maybe, or somebody gave me as a extra. I forget how I got this, but I think I got this for basically nothing. And this one, let me find the card. This is the Tarot of the Spirit by Pamela Eakins and Joyce Eakins. The Eye of Fire. Temperance. And you look at it and it's, you know, again, great style of art. Very something not everyone would be into. It's a bit Thoth based, in my opinion, but not entirely. And this deck was painted over a skeleton of the Tree of Life. The Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Gorgeous. Okay, where's my cards? This was a wild circumstance when I was playing around with this deck. I got it right when I lost Max. Look at that. I think that's on the box. The new box. This deck is still in print. Just the cards that have water in them are so super effective to me. And did I already? That happens all the time. So my eldest daughter, was affected as much as anyone in a different way, but how she dealt with her grief is she started doing Hawaiian prayer. She started going to the ocean and singing out in one of the kind of parks. And the park where she does her chanting happens to be where the green turtles nest. And I swear to you, sea animals come out of the water to listen to her. When I was there this last time when we had the paddle out, we went every day to the sea post. She goes every day. And for her, it's prayer, it's conversation with Max. And the turtles are there. And they stick their little heads out and fish cut. It's so cool. It's such a really amazing thing. And that card there came up in a reading, like a conversation with Max that I was having. So it was really, really meaningful and a treasure in my collection that will never go anywhere. Okay, so next is Irish whiskey. Yes. This is Party in a Deck. And I don't know if anyone else picked this one, but this is such This is the Happy Tarot by Serena Ficca. Here's your book. This is a Lo Scarabeo, if I'm not. Gotta be, right? Yeah, Lo Scarabeo. There's your backs. This is one. I have all these weird stories with all these older decks, but what did she call herself? I don't know. One of the old YouTubers that is no longer doing her thing. One of my first interactions with her, she was like, I'm giving away some decks. All you gotta do is pay shipping. So I paid shipping for her to send me this. And I was immediately in love because I love me a cute, adorable deck that just brings a smile to your face. And these cards bring a smile. Look at the little dog. And the birds. And all the candy and marshmallows and stuff. Even the Five of Wands is so cute. Oh my God. Totally adorbs. And how is this not a party? I mean, it's not exactly Irish whiskey, but this is a party in a deck. Oh. It's sleepy for. Oh, you just gotta love it. And this one it's even mostly borderless. It just has the one strip on the bottom. It's really good cardstock. I have no idea which printing this is, but damn. This was a score. I'm so happy to have this. All right. But the other one, which it just feels like a medieval feast to me. This is the, we just call it the Vachetta, but it is I Naibi di Giovanni Vachetta. This is the Il Meneghello version, which, baby, if you are a cardstock snob, this is the shit. It's orgasmic cardstock. So this whole deck feels to me like a big medieval party, like a fair, like a festival. Like you went to some little town in medieval France or wherever, and we're going to be eating and drinking and playing games. Yeehaw! The devil is here. King of coins, making some money. Even the hermit came out for a minute. Il matto. Regina di Spada. Don't mess with my girl. And her boyfriend. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. But look, I mean, there's always some kind of food or some kind of decoration. It just looks like party at the fair. Come on down. right? Get your tarot cards read. Il caro. Yeah. So good. So good. Oh, somebody got caught stealing. All full with the pet monkey. Yeehaw! Okay. I could go on for days. I love it. Love it. Should we shuffle? We can shuffle. Sure, why not? Why take this out if I'm not going to shuffle it? Yeah. And it's like a really nice size too. It's that Los Scarabeo size. Los Scarabeo tuck boxes, y'all. Great cardstock. And Il Meneghello Vachetta. Yum. Just delicious. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, I'm making a mess here. Get back in the box. Get back in the box. So the last prompt, and of course my shit is turned off. Rich heritage. What deck in your collection has so much depth to it, whether in the art guidebook or the readings? And I pulled out the latest edition. I have a video on my channel showing all 4 editions, which it's a long video, I'm not going to lie, but if you put it on double speed. This is Benebell Wins Spirit Keepers. And this is the 4th edition, the one with the brighter colors. And I've worn this one in too. So now that it's worn in, it's really nice. It is a really enjoyable cardstock to shuffle and play with. And you all know what's going on here. We have the 4 of coins, but he's sitting in an elaborate museum. I think this is a stairway in the Winter Palace in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. All of these cards, there are a ton of different cultures represented. Benebell actually looked into the costumes that would work for these different places. The original idea of this deck was that it was both Thoth and RWS based. I mean, right? The Corruptor. Do you see the nebula in the background? I have always loved this as a sun card too. The Warrior. The Demiurge. Oh, this is a great one too. Herald of the Winds. The Rogue. Chariot. Priestess. And yeah, I've got the 1st edition, I've got Vitruvian, I've got the earlier printing of this one. I think this one's my favorite. I think it's my favorite because I feel like this is what she meant to do the whole time. So, yeah. Oh, one more great freaking church. Yes, please. Okay. So that is prompt number 7. And I'm going to leave it there, folks, because I got stuff to do. And thank you for coming.